Good afternoon and welcome to Football League World TV. My name's Ned Holmes and I'm joined by my Football League World colleague Billy Mully to talk through the 6 players on the shortlist for the Football League World Fans League One Player of the Season award. How are you doing this afternoon, Billy?
Yeah, doing very well, thank you. We spoke a little bit just before we went on air about this sort of the quality of the 6 players in conversation today, and it makes for a really interesting selection to see who actually will be crowned.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, ahead of the season, there was certainly plenty of excitement about the League One campaign, with sort of so many clubs certainly having aspirations of challenging for promotion to the Championship. There were battles at both ends of the table that raged on into the last month of the season. And of course, promotion was ultimately decided on that final day. Plenty of standout players as well, but only 6 could make our short list. The vote is now open and runs until 9 a.m. tomorrow. To cast your vote, click the link in the description below or head to footballleagueworld.co.uk/fan-awards to cast your vote. Before me and Billy get started with a sort of a breakdown of the 6 nominees, just a reminder, as always, please do like and share this video. Subscribe to Football League World TV on YouTube and let us know your thoughts in the comments. I'll start off then by running through the 6 nominees, and they are Plymouth goalkeeper Michael Cooper, Wycombe defender Ryan Tafazoli, Sheffield Wednesday skipper Barry Bannon, MK Dons playmaker Scott Twine, Wigan striker Will Keane, and Sunderland striker Ross Stewart. We'll start, Billy, at the top of the list then. Plymouth, perhaps roller coaster is too strong a term, but an up and down season. Obviously, the departure of Ryan Lowe and sort of missing out on the playoffs, fairly dramatically in that heavy defeat on the final day. But throughout that, Michael Cooper just consistently brilliant for Argyle, wasn't he? I think he started every game, more saves than anyone else, 142, and joint most clean sheets with 18. Just a consistently brilliant performer, wasn't he?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there about Mike Cooper. 142 saves, as you say, a very high total of saves. The save percentage was also very high. 18 clean sheets. It all points towards, a team that goes on and wins the league. It is some very, very impressive stats. And just looking about everything that he brings to the table as well, he ticks a lot of boxes for the higher level clubs looking at their goalkeeping options for the future. Still just 22 years of age, excellent shot stopper, reflexes are ranks at the top end of the division in terms of his technical ability as well. He's composed when on the ball, passing range. He really meets a lot of demands for a modern day goalkeeper. And again, 100 plus appearances, before the age of 22 as a goalkeeper is always going to stand you in good stead to continue progressing. And that's exactly what he's doing at the moment. A really, really strong season. And as I say, if there are higher level teams at the moment assessing their options going into the new campaign, then he's going to be very, very high up on the list. Although, Plymouth will be hoping to keep him around for a very long time because he is coming through the academy as well. It's a really, really exciting goalkeeper for Plymouth to have on their hands.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fantastic season, certainly for Cooper. And as you say, only 22. It does sound like there are a few clubs interested this summer, but still, I think at least 2 years left on his contract at home parks. So hopefully they can hold on for him for Argyle fans. But if you think Mike Cooper deserves to be named the Football League World Fans League One Player of the Season, then head to footballleagueworld.co.uk/fan-awards. Click the link in the description to cast your vote. You've got until 9 a.m. tomorrow. Onto the defenders then, Billy, and Ryan Tafazoli from Wycombe makes our list. 189 clearances, 5 goals. I think, physicality, a solid defender and a real fighter. He really emboldens sort of what the Chairboys were all about last season, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's perfect in that side. As you say, a warrior, physically strong, sort of an athlete as well. Everything he meets the physical demands, but for sure. And just looking at that, 189 clearances and 5 goals just shows his presence in both areas. Somebody that's very, very commanding in his own third, but also can make an impact in the final third, which is massively important, especially with Wickham and their, not reliance, but their just their record with set pieces, and how important they become under a Gareth Ainsworth side. He really has been excellent this season. And, if it wasn't just the 46 game season that proved how good he has been, then the 2 playoff games, well, 3 playoff games, because he still played very well against Sunderland, that it really typifies what a season he has had. I feel that he's in this sort of bracket where he's struggled to adapt to establishing himself in the Championship before, but he's proven to be too good for League One. So he's in that kind of bracket where if he is at League One next year and still plying his trade at Wickham, then it would be incredible for them. But I think it could justify him playing and getting one more chance at playing Championship football. He's definitely that good and progressing as a ball carrier as well. His range of passing, we've seen it for Vokes' goal in the playoffs in the first leg against MK Dons. Pinpoint passing. He's brave as well, but he's accurate, which again, another player that ticks a lot of boxes, and a player that deserves all the credit he's got this season, because he really, really has been at the top of his game, and somebody that Wickham can depend on.
I think you're right to sort of highlight his growing confidence and sort of ability on the ball in that passing as well. We shouldn't just put him down as this physical defender, but it was certainly that physicality and that strength at the back and in the opposition box, as you say, that made him such an asset for Wickham last season. And if you think he deserves to be named the League One Football League One fans League One player this season, then click the link in the description below. Head to footballleagueworld.co.uk/fan-awards to cast your vote. Into the midfielders, then Billy and 2 real sort of technicians or artists perhaps of the game. And we start with Barry Bannan, Sheffield Wednesday captain, obviously led them to the playoffs. 9 goals, 12 assists for him. There was obviously lofty expectations ahead of the season. People were talking about, how amazing it was that we were having Bannan dropping down to League One. And fair to say, his influence was clear to see throughout for Wednesday, and he lived up to those expectations.
Yeah, as you say, there were lofty expectations going into the new season. I think maybe this season has been sort of downplayed a little bit because of the reputation he's brought in, and that's perhaps why he hasn't been viewed as the standout candidate from this season. But I'm glad he is in this list, because he 100% deserves to. And you think of that wonder of a left foot, you think of his creativity, you think of his leadership skills, you think of a lot of things when you think of Barry Bannan, and he's brought that all to League One this season. And he has looked a level above for the majority of the campaign, especially with having Luongo in the side. I think that allows him to have less defensive responsibilities and allow him to show his creative abilities on a wider scale, and without those sort of questions in his mind about having to get back and defend. So I think he has flourished next to alongside Luongo, particularly if Luongo departs. Then I think and Bannan stays, I think they need to have that sort of holding midfielder to allow him to flourish again. But just looking at that, 9 goals, 12 assists, he really has stood out in the centre of midfield. It's difficult for Sheffield Wednesday at times this season. Of course, adapting to a new division, a lot of injuries as well. That I know Bannan played the majority of games, but having new teammates come into the starting 11 each week definitely will be a hindrance for you and your progression. So he's dealt with that very well. You still look at him, you still look at the majority of Championship sides, and you think he'd slot in there. He's just that kind of player. So if Wednesday are to keep hold of him for another season, then naturally expectation levels are going to be high.
Absolutely. And move on to the second of the sort of midfielders. Hard to place Scott Twine, Billy, in this list, given we saw him pushed forward into sort of a forward role later in the season. But what we can say, it was a phenomenal season for the 22-year-old. 20 goals, 13 assists, and just, consistently producing for his side, I think speaks volumes about what a sort of big game player he is. That final game of the season, they knew that they needed a big result against Plymouth to sort of have any chance of getting into the top 2. He scores 4 goals. I mean, just a consistently brilliant season from Scott Twine, wasn't it?
Yeah, incredible campaign. I think I've been on shows with you before where I've just sat here for minutes on end, praising him to the highest level, really. And I'm going to do it again because he has been truly, truly incredible this year. I guess there was a little bit of expectation given there was championship interest in him during the previous summer. Chose MK Dons, wanted to see more regular minutes. Wanted to be sort of an integral figure of a team going in the right direction. And I think that's been the best possible move, best possible decision he could have made. 20 goals, 13 assists. But what impresses me so much, you sort of take into account he has got those 33 goal contributions, but he's so selfless as well. His intelligent runs allows, well, you've seen sort of Parrott and sort of the other forward players, MK Dons, take some very good positions because of his selfless movement, because of how intelligent he is off the ball. But then, once he has the ball, some of the goals he scored from range, tap-ins as well. He's got himself in the right places, and he's just been somebody that's consistently been above League One level. It's going to be difficult for MK Dons to keep hold of him, given he's still just 22 years of age and he's showing what he's showing already. It's going to be a difficult task to try and keep hold of him. And it just makes the next step quite interesting because, I'm sure most teams would love to have a Scott Twine in their side.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's a whole, almost everyone in League One, probably the Championship and a few Premier League teams as well would love to have Scott Twine in their squad, if not in their side. And if you think either Twine or Bannon deserve to be named the Football League World fans League One Player of the Season, head to footballleagueworld.co.uk/fan-awards or click the link in the description to cast your vote. You've got until 9 a.m. tomorrow. Well, there were plenty of impressive goal scorers at League One level this season, but certainly two stood out. The first of which, Will Keane at Wigan, the champions, of course. 26 goals, 7 assists for him. Billy, I mean, Will Keane, an interesting one. I think perhaps failed to live up to that potential, having come through the Man United academy, struggled for consistency at his other clubs, but really seems to have found a home at Wigan, fired them to the title this season, and the sort of, as I said, League One Golden Boot, just a perfect fit for the Latics, it seems.
Yeah, and I think his success this season's credit to his persistence within his own footballing career. Credit to Liam Richardson, who he's improved massively under his stewardship. So I think a lot of credit does have to go to Richardson. But yeah, just looking at what he can offer, his movement is top class. His ability to link the play. He's just a very, very intelligent operator. Showed he's got a knack for scoring goals as well. He ticks, I keep saying it, but he ticks a lot of boxes, and that's, I think he has been, again, consistently above League One level, which makes it an exciting prospect going into the new Championship season. I think he will be able to adapt given what he's shown this season and given, the upward trajectory he's currently on. As you say, he struggled for consistency, but that's exactly what he showed in abundance last season. He was consistently above the level. And yeah, I think he has set himself up for a very good season next year. It remains to be seen what kind of business Wigan do to ensure that they can avoid the Championship drop first and foremost. But, they do have a Championship squad already at their disposal, in my opinion. So it's I don't think we're going to see too many changes. And I can see Keane being sort of that talismanic figure that he has been in League One. I can see that sort of transforming across to the new division. And I'm sure that will bode well for Wigan in their pursuit of, as I say, first and foremost, it will be avoiding the drop, and then it will be building up from that.
Yeah, another player who fired his team to promotion to the Championship this season was Ross Stewart. Obviously, a keen sort of competition, if you will, for the Golden Boot. Stewart, 26 goals, including that one in the playoff final, and 63 key passes. Billy, I mean, pressure was on him really to step up after Charlie White left. He had a phenomenal season, obviously, and certainly the man they call the Loch Ness Drogba duly delivered, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Again, big credit to sort of the mentality that he's shown this season, Stuart. you know, coming into a situation, I think he would have. I don't think he would have imagined he'd be as integral as he has been. But then Charlie White departing quite late on, it sort of left Sunderland in a little bit of a sticky situation. But Stewart has completely delivered. You know, again, he's not just a goal scorer. His physicality, his athleticism, his movement, all has the markings of a player that could, you know, really thrive in the Championship. And there's, you know, there's a lot of interest in him as well. And I think that's completely justified by his performances. Again, quite selfless in his running at times. You know, his ability to create as well has been there for all to see. And as you say, a Loch Ness Drogba title is quite fitting for him, because, you know, he's a striker that really does have it all, and somebody that could be, again, like Will Keane, he could be really integral in the Championship next season. And, you know, who knows, it might not be with Sunderland, which would be, you know, I think it would be a massive blow to Sunderland. But they've shown that they can recruit forwards that can, you know, step up to the plate. And, you know, he has had quite a lot of creative options around him that has helped him sort of boost his goal tally. But at the same time, he has been truly excellent, and he has created a lot for himself. So, yeah, a top level player, another one that's definitely worthy of a shout in this conversation.
Yeah, two impressive marksmen that have had two brilliant seasons. But if you think Will Keane or Ross Stewart deserve to be named the Football League World Fans League One Player of the Season, then head to footballleagueworld.co.uk/fan-awards, or click the link in the description to cast your vote. You've got until 9 a.m. tomorrow to do so. Just a reminder then, the 6 nominees are Plymouth goalkeeper Mike Cooper, Wycombe defender Ryan Tafazoli, Sheffield Wednesday skipper Barry Bannon, MK Dons playmaker Scott Twine, Wigan forward Will Keane, and Sunderland striker Ross Stewart. That's everything from us on Football League World TV today, but we'll be back at the same time tomorrow to talk through the League 2 nominees for this award. That seems to say thanks, Billy, and thanks everyone for watching.